I know. How dare I? How dare I crawl back to this channel after promising to deliver daily slop content and averaging about 2 videos for the past 3 months per month. Look, the only reason I'm coming back right now is because I'm bored, and scrolling through my TikTok, it's like, you know those little like snippet things that you get in The Boys, where it's like superheroes selling stuff? It feels like that. It doesn't feel real. It feels satirical. I definitely think I was reincarnated from an alien. It's just so blur. It's either people selling you stuff or like have Labubus pick my makeup. Like crap, absolute crap. So what should we talk about? I know what we should talk about. How about we talk about the cancelled podcast ending? Finally, God, get on with it, ladies. There's actually quite a lot to fit into this video, so I might break it up, seeing how we do for time. Because I didn't do a video about when they announced they were going to end the podcast, though they've been subtly implying it for a while now that they were going to quit the podcast. And then they did a video explaining why they were going to quit the podcast a few weeks ago, and I could have done a video then, but I've been really busy, as always. Speaking of busy, I also now have 2 more channels. I have an ASMR sleeping channel called Alizee with like 10 Zs, and a no commentary gaming channel called Alizee XP. I'll link them in the thingamabob below. Go check them out if you're into that. The sleep ASMR is book videos repurposed into long ones so people can fall asleep to them, because I noticed I get a lot of comments about people falling asleep to my voice or whatever. And the gaming one is just because I've been doing a lot of like gaming background videos, like it's on the background of this one right now, and so I just have like a whole folder of so much game footage, and I figured I might as well do something with it. And the no commentary, it sounds a bit niche, but it's actually not. It's a personal choice of mine because I do watch gaming videos sometimes. Personally, I don't like it probably about 3/4 of the time where there is commentary, because I don't like hearing the fake, whoa, I died overreactions. So I just figured, why would I put up content that I myself don't really like? So there's no commentary on them, and if you've got a problem with that, can I refer you to this channel, the Sleeps channel, and my main channel, where there is now probably thousands of hours worth of me yapping. I'm all yapped out. I don't need to talk anymore. Okay, so let's unpack this, because what I noticed from this video here is I'm pretty sure they're blaming their audience for the podcast ending. Whilst there may be elements of truth in there, it is deflecting from the real issues that I don't think either of them want to get into. So we might get into this one in this video. We'll see how it goes, because this is 1.5 hours long, so we'll see. But if I do split this into 2 videos, I will be filming this back to back, so you'll just have to wait a day in between. Good? We all good now? You've forgiven me? Okay. Oh yeah, so the title is why the council podcast is ending, and then they dropped some merch in the first 10 minutes. Kind of based.
It's like, oh my God, we don't know these people.
Yeah.
We don't know these people.
Heavy on we do not know these people. And that's something like, I mean, we can't really hardly even touch on, because our whole lives and jobs like revolve around talking about people basically that we do not know. So I can't really hate on people for that too much, but
I know, but I'm excited as fuck to not have our paychecks eventually.
I know. It's like something that really actually bothers me, but I hate, especially because like being on the other side of it, being like, oh my God, so frustrating that like these people are so, again, like flippantly making videos, like talking about things like that they don't have all the information. And I'm like, oh my God, we have such a huge part in that, like doing it on the other side.
100%. It's like every time I go to see stuff about us and be like, these people don't know us. It's like, I literally just spoke about Catherine McBroom for an hour. I've never had more than a 30-second conversation with her.
Even yeah, no, I've had like moments where I'm like, oh my God, I just got talked about on H3 for 45 minutes and they don't know how to say my last name. Like,
yeah.
It bothers me. Like, it really bothers me, but I'm like, fuck, like we really do that to people.
Yeah.
I like how on episode 123, they are having this realization now that people talk about them who don't know them, but they also do it to other people. Unfortunately, that just comes with the space, but I don't really too much like you don't know these people argument too much, because if someone's acting like a twit publicly, am I not then allowed to say those are the actions that correlate to a twit? Like, are we never allowed to judge people's actions? Or, you know, like, what's the expression? If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. Like, if you're acting like an asshole most of the time you're on a camera, people are going to think you're an asshole, and they're doing it with the information that you yourself has provided. This isn't about Catherine. I'm talking about these two because we'll get into it. So can you really hate on people for that? I don't think so.
I know, it's like, it sucks so much because I love you so much, but like, I am getting in this place where I am like really awaiting the ending of this contract for my peace, like realizing that this is the final outlier in my peace era, which is so unfortunate because when we started it, well, we weren't peaceful when we started it, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, just, that's what it is. It's like starting this thing as chaotic ass individuals down for the smoke, fucking up our own life. Barney's beanerying it up, fucking pool boy the house down.
That combination of words would actually kill a Victorian child, I think, on earth.
Era where like both of us are so fucking peaceful, and then like,
yeah, I feel like I don't have enough time to stand up before like something else happens every single time. It's just like,
and even this episode is no different. You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
yeah.
But they're acting, so they said that about, well, we don't know these people and yet we talk about them. And they act as though the criticism they do get hate that is unwarranted, that isn't constructive. Of course I'll concede that, because everyone on a public platform gets that type of hate. But they act as though they are totally passive in this, and the hate and the criticism or pushback or whatever just keeps happening to them when they instigate it a lot of the time. Like, you can't have a podcast where, and we'll get into it because in the later one, the recent one that they uploaded, Tana's upset about the negativity, and it's like, but your podcast, talking about pop culture is fun, but if you're attacking other creators, and even when the podcast began, when it was just like, Tana, they would like, I guess, be rude about other influencers and talk about their drunk stories and, you know, tell the audiences way too much about like the guys they were dating and like blah 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 blah. You can't really expect to not get in constant confrontation and then get negative. If you attack someone, like an influencer on the platform, you have to fully expect that their fan base will find out, and then, you know, the parasocial ones will have a go at you back. You can't really expect otherwise. Like, don't throw stones in glass houses. You can't fling around shit and then be surprised when you get some on your shoe. Do you know what I mean?
I'm so excited for you to be able to talk about food and me to be able to talk about mental health, and I want fucking whatever, you know, just.
I will not be there to watch anything that Brooke talks about. I couldn't think of anything more boring, quite frankly. It's me. I'm the problem. I'm the hater. Look, I hate everyone equally. So actually, I'm not the problem.
I know we talk about this all the time, but like, just, I want to take a beat where it's like my entire life isn't like all about me and like, or other people. I want it to be like fun and like food or personality based or like makeup or something.
What personality? I admit I am part of the problem.
That like doesn't, like, people don't have a space to comment on in like such a like negative way.
Oh, my sweet summer child. Babe, is this like your first week on the internet? Your first week being a human on the internet? No matter what the genre, no matter what the like online group, there is always drama. Do you not remember a few months ago when there was like that fucking cake talk drama about with bakers getting angry at Walmart doing affordable nice cakes for people who can't afford to spend like $150 fucking dollars plus 30% tip on a every single little niche has its dramas and has its like controversies, and you can't, God, even if you were just talking about food or talking about games, there's always going to be people who disagree with you. You have to be, and the thing that annoys me is when people have this sentiment of like, you have to be okay with people not liking you online. People then go a bit extreme and they go, well, it's not okay, like people bully and stuff. I don't agree that it's okay that people bully and take it way too far either. I'm clearly not saying that. I'm just saying you have to expect some people aren't going to like you, and that's fine. There's no escaping it if you want a job in this sphere. And I will just say, before we get into the rest of the videos, for anyone who like wants to know or thinks about this, because I often see, because the issue with Brooke, and again we'll get into this a bit deeper in a bit, but one of the issues with her is she cannot keep out of a comment section, and she's always fighting for her life, and you have to not do that because it eggs people on. If people don't like you, you've just given them even more ammunition because they know it's getting to you. You have to, after a certain level, not check comments, not live in comment sections, not be looking yourself up on different websites to see what people are saying about you. And I've seen so many people who aren't YouTubers go, oh, like defend people like Brooke who do this by saying, oh, it's easier said than done and all of us would do it. I don't. And I've been a full-time YouTuber for 5 years, doing it as a hobby for like 2 years before that, so like 7 in total. I don't, because you have to be responsible for your own mental health and you have to safeguard it. Because if you go and look on websites where people hate you, you're never going to want to post anything again. And people they'll find credible things to dislike, but they will find like the stupidest things to dislike. Should you give that weight? Should you waste your time arguing with them? No. You have to safeguard your own. And I know like quite a lot of YouTubers, some don't do this and some are in the comment sections, and then some like they're reading through and, you know, they're getting like 50 to 100 nice comments, and then they get one comment from a dickhead, and then it plays on their mind. And I'm like, okay, you need to stop doing this, because it's like a form of, you need to not do this. It's a form of mental self-harm. Then on the other hand, I know YouTubers who are a lot bigger than my main channel who don't check at all, and who gave me the advice years ago, yeah, don't bother. Because there's no point. If you've put out a video and you're happy with what you've done, and then you get 2 out of like 200 comments that are negative, it's going to play on your mind and it's going to sour it for you. So like, don't really bother. Here's my trick, Brooke, if you're listening, which she might be fighting for her life in this comment section, who knows. Here's the trick, right? So you can safeguard your mental health. You can restrict your socials. This is the thing. You can restrict your socials. So on Instagram, you can make it so only people that follow you can comment, or you can restrict it even further. If these people really cared that much about the hate, why are they not doing that? Or is it they like the attention overall more than the hate? Because if it's getting to you, and us talking about it and saying people need to have better online decorum and better etiquette, which they do. People need to not be so extreme. People need to not be like that meme where it's like, oh, I like lemons. Oh, so you hate oranges? People need to be less like that online, sure. But us saying it ain't going to change anything. It's a bit of a maturity thing. Not even then. Because boomers are pretty bad for it, aren't they? Well, I think the average person and the masses are inherently slightly bad. Myself included, by the way. Like Jungian dark night of the soul shit. I accept that. Yes, I talk about it in therapy. Yes, I'm trying to convince her I'm actually just a terrible, evil person. But, you know, us talking about it isn't going to change anything. It's not going to stop those people. So what can you do? You can safeguard it, and the responsibility does fall on you if you want to have this job, which the downsides are, yeah, you can get bullied or cancelled, and the mental health side of it can be really bad. But then the upsides are you're your own boss. You create your own schedule. You're not beholden to a lot of people, and the ceiling for payments is kind of limitless. You'll get out what you put in, and you can make a lot of money. As I've noticed people on Reddit, and sorry, I know that I've just like gone off when I'm ranting, but I've been bored all day. I've noticed people on Reddit still can't, like, they just don't know the numbers of what influencers are actually pulling in. Like I saw people once talking about, God, I think the influencer maybe had like 10 million followers, and they'll be like, oh yes, they could probably pull in £10,000 per sponsorship, $10,000. For 10 million followers, try at least 100 grand. Obviously, it does also depend on your audience, your niche and stuff, but the amount of money that some of these people can make is ridiculous. And unfortunately, the pitfalls are people are going to have opinions on you. Does that mean they should have free reign to, like, when it goes from being opinions into full harassment? No. Then there's laws against harassment anyway. Should we just get on with this? I've forgotten what they were originally talking about.
You guys know I'm impacted by it.
100%. It's like, yeah, I can't sit here and say that when this contract is up toward the end of this year, that canceled is for a fact ending forever.
We'll see in the recent video, but she's basically over it completely now, which I thought it was worth going over this one because I want to know what's happened in the space of, I mean, I have some guesses. I want to know what's happened in the space of 3 weeks for her to go from we're stopping it, but maybe we revisit to nah, done.
A year could go by or 2 years could go by. And if people really wanted it back or we missed doing it, like I would be so down to Backstreet Boys it up and like reunion. But I think that for both of our mental health and just ability to grow even further, you know, like it's just like, yeah, I just feel a little stagnant in my peace era because I'm still holding on to this like unpeaceful, and obviously by contract and like,
yeah.
But why is it unpeaceful in the first place? You know, on YouTube, you do cultivate your own audience. So if it's not peaceful, or you have the type of fans who are going to harass and are going to cause issues, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, there's something to be said about the parasocial dynamic here, especially between tanamongeau and her fans. Because remember, I've been sort of watching her fascinated. If she ever gets a biography done, I better be the one contacted to write the biography. I've been watching her since the iDubbbz thingamajig. You know, that stupid thing he did. I've been watching her since that. The content cop, sorry, it's hot. It's hot in England. I can't think properly. And she's definitely sort of played into the parasocial dynamic of I've raised you, I've raised my audience, like we're fatherless and blah, blah, blah. And I want to give people advice on what to do with their lives, what not to do. So I don't know, man. If after a certain point you realise like this is the actually that's what happened to iDubbbz, right? He realised when like his audience members were coming up to him in the shops and just yelling slurs at his face, he realised, oh, this isn't the audience I want, and then he pivoted and God knows what he's up to now, not getting into that mess. So if it's not that peaceful, I mean,
we've been really seesawing the idea of if when Australia is over, if we do a final US run in like October, November, and like that, it does align with the contract. Theoretically, we could do it. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. It is not about being on stage and doing meet and greets and meeting our fans. It is about everything else that like encompasses all of that. And I was just really realizing that, I don't know, I think like, and I'm sure you can relate to this, but like, I grew up in a household with zero money, and all of the things my parents fought about every single day was money. And from a very young age, by 5 years old, I would think to myself, like, money can fix this. You know what I mean? And then I obviously have no one to fall back on. You know what I mean? It's not like anyone did anything for me, or like, I know if this doesn't work. Just essentially what I'm trying to say is I'm realizing how deep rooted my like money and fear like derivatives are, you know what I mean? Just that it's like such a driving factor, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I need the break and like, you know, whatever. But like, what if I couldn't make that in a couple years? But
I love that she's always like, I need a break, but she's always just like off in Hawaii. It's not quite the same, is it? Like, this is what I mean though. Even my life, like I'm my own boss. It's just hilarious because, you know, I can't even commit to doing this fucking channel. It's not the same as someone, and you know, it was a lot more recent for me having those types of jobs that you had to go in 6 days a week in my most recent job before this. So it's not the same as people that have to pull in and do like 50-hour shifts. Some of the criticism that Tana gets is that she's out of touch, which she is, because she's been rich for like what, 9-10 years now. She's been rich for a long time now. And obviously the scars of a troubled childhood remain, but it can come across as quite out of touch to complain about, you know, having to do a podcast with your co-worker and getting a bit of hate when the average person can't go on holiday at the moment, or can't, you know, they can't just like fly across to Hawaii to unplug, you know?
Yeah, I have the same thing. Trust me, it is something like, when so much of your life is like money is such a stressor, like I feel like up until 3 years ago, like that was my number one thing that stressed me out the most out of everything in the world. And now same thing, it's like a scarcity thing. Like, not that I don't have money, but it's like you don't know how long this is going to last, especially like this career isn't like.
Yeah, this career also just does that to everyone. No, but like everyone in Hollywood feels that way.
Yeah, and then I also like, you said we don't have anyone to fall back on. Like, not only that, but like people are depending like so heavily on me and my job and my
I have full body chills.
income.
It is just wild. Like, I think about that all the time.
Who's depending on Brooke? I know that Tana basically subsidizes her friends. I'm half joking. Who's depending on her? Her boyfriend. Her boyfriend that's getting her cancelled right now, but won't man up and do anything about it. Like, again, I'm jumping the gun because I know like too much about what's been going on, which is, I think this ties into why they're just like, nah, we got to finish this now, because they don't want to address the issue of Brooke's fiance, who, again, if she's in the comment section, fight for her life here. Gotta say, if for whatever reason I was getting blamed online, and the thing is she is sort of condoning, and we can get into it, she's not entirely blameless, but if I was getting blamed for my boyfriend's behavior, if he did something and then everyone was having to go at me for it and like, you know, cancelling my career over it, do you think, well, actually you guys don't know, my boyfriend, who's not a public facing person, not public facing, he's not on social media, he wouldn't let me bear the brunt of everything without him like coming online and saying something. Like, he would be defending me, because as a partner, that's kind of what he should do, especially if it's not my behavior everyone's angry about, it's his. Now, the issue of Brooke's boyfriend, I'll give you like the quick notes. Basically, people discovered that her current fiance most likely had a predatory relationship with someone who was 15 to 16, though the timeline looks like she was maybe 15 and he was 30 or 28, like bordering 30, older than Brooke is here, and, you know, having an inappropriate relationship with a minor, and Brooke is sticking her head in the sand about it and ignoring the issue because he's nice to her and has never raised his voice at her, which, babe, bare minimum stuff. Anyway, should we just get on with it?
Let me tell you that much.
Yeah. Like, if I really wanted to fuck off right now, I can't. Like, there's so many people, and I don't, people think that I like pay for my friends' lives, and it's not that I don't pay for a single one of my friends' lives, but like employees and just commitments and contracts and all, you know what I mean? Managers and all of these things. And it's like, good things will come from that period of time. You know what I mean? Where it's like
throwing us in the water. Like, oh, you gotta do something.
Yes. And like find out what serves you as who you are now. You know what I mean? Versus like what was serving you 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Just like, even with sobriety, and like, I've just been like really deep diving on mental health and even like spirituality and shit lately, where I'm like, as much as I love to like also kiki with the girls and talk about Hailey Bieber and talk about all this shit online, like, there is so much more out there for us and so much more that we could do, and just so many more ways to feel fulfilled with our platforms. And
like, I think it comes down to just, we're very fatigued. Like, I think a lot of the people who watch us are fatigued.
Sick of your shit.
There's a point where it's going to be like, oh my God, we took this too far and we did too much. And as a result, I have like done this, and this that I would have never maybe done. Or like, you know, we've blocked ourselves off from like a lot of opportunities that we probably could have like pursued had we not had this like major responsibility.
Blocked yourself off from opportunities because you have a podcast that you can't even consistently upload once a week on. Okay.
I think back at so much of my life where like I continued blocking myself from like my highest path because I was sticking to like either what I knew or what was comfortable, or just simply what was no longer serving me. And like, that's kind of where I'm at. Even with this book, I'm like, I just need to be able to not have to worry about canceled all day, every day, to like,
really, make room.
Yeah, exactly. Make room. And just
imagine not being able to do a book at the same time as you doing a 1.5 to 2 hour long podcast every 10 or so days. Like, this is what people get fed up of, because it is a bit out of touch. And I've done podcasting, wasn't very good at it, that's why I quit doing it. I, you know, a few times a month have to put up like 3 to 4 hour long video deep dives about things, but you can do stuff alongside. It's just a bit Like, I feel like I have more space to talk about this because I am a content creator who also had like a proper job 5 years ago for most of my 20s, right? The relief I would actually feel if, instead of doing my long old content that takes dozens of hours to produce, if I could swap that with talking on a couch once a week with another content creator for 2 hours and then getting paid tens of thousands of pounds a week, I would be a lot less stressed.
Still perceive ending canceled as like something to do with the both of us. Like it's just
Of course, but it does, and that's not to say like it's a relationship problem or it's like, oh, we hate this. It's just like, I don't know, it's hard, and there's like, it's easy to see it from afar and be like, well, you have to talk, but it's like the there's so much more to it. I feel like, at least, I don't know. I know you have a different view on it than me, but
no, but I am starting to really. I think you've sold me on your view in a lot of ways. Like truly, where it's like, yeah, I love you more than anything. And this has been the most beautiful fucking like insane chapter of our lives. You know what I mean? That like I have chills even just thinking about it. But it's like there has to be that room to grow. And that's not saying that eventually we wouldn't come back. And like,
yeah,
because I love our dynamic. Like that's why I ever was like, come sit on this fucking couch.
That's important too. It's not like so definite. I think a major factor of it too, we haven't said this, I don't know if we've said this, but like if we were able to post once every month or something, I don't think we would feel the way that we do now.
They don't consistently post every week. Like, I'm sorry, but compared to what so many other people do on this platform, who have I been watching recently? I've been watching some random like fitness dude called Will Tennyson, who, like clockwork, he does his videos. I think he does weekly videos. Like clockwork, he's a fitness dude, but he's quite creative with what he does. And he flies around the place, and he's seemingly consistent. It's like well-produced stuff. It's much better produced than my stuff, and he's still being consistent and doing it once. Like a lot of people consistently post well-polished videos once a week. They think they can get away with being like, oh, well, you don't understand unless you do this job, but it's not just sitting down and talking. Of course, it's not just sitting down and talking. I don't know if Tana does the editing for this, but there is editing and there's knowing SEO and meta tagging, but these are skills that you naturally acquire as you go through the process of having this as a job. And yeah, you've got to mediate a little bit with sponsorship managers, and there is admin to it, but it's not the same as going to an office and doing data entry. They don't even put up a podcast once a week, and here they are being like, oh, if we could do this just once a month. If they changed their schedule to just once a month, they'd probably still be late and inconsistent.
Yeah, honestly, like all of this shit is talking towards a contract that we both willingly signed.
Yeah, and I'm happy in it. I love my job. I love this. I think this is like, I mean, this is obviously the most special thing like we've ever gotten to do. I'm so grateful for it. I would never want to have any other job. I don't want to complain about it as if it's like, oh no, like what was...
Yeah. It's funny because you never hear her being that grateful for it.
I don't know. There are effects to your mental health that like a lot of people might not think about. And like, at least that's my number one driving factor is like, I have to take care of myself that way because...
Then why don't you? Then why don't you safeguard your mental health? Like if you turned off your TikTok and your Instagram comment sections, yeah, you'd get less engagement. And yeah, that might mean less likes. And maybe that affects like some brands or whatever. And yeah, some people would bitch about the fact that you even turned them off in the first place, but you would feel a lot more mentally healthy. What about, have you ever put blocks on your phone so you can't check social media more than, I don't know, for X amount of minutes per day? Not that I have that because it doesn't work for me. Are you going to therapy to talk about this stuff with a licensed professional? Are you mediating your comment sections and not checking what people are saying about you on Reddit or other sites? No. So then how can you say that you're safeguarding your mental health if you're not doing any of these things? And I can hear people already being like, oh, well, why should she have to do all of that? Because if you care about your mental health, you will. And people aren't going to get nicer online. They didn't get nicer when everyone did the superficial #BeKind stuff. And they're certainly not going to become nicer because two people on a podcast who get paid a lot of money are complaining about having to upload more than once a month. Like, they're not going to magically become nicer. So until that happens, you have to kind of, you know? And no, I'm not victim blaming either, right? Because if you deliberately antagonize people, you can't then cry if they snap back at you or they're mean to you, which Brooke does, by the way.
Everybody is affected by that. If I'm going through it or if I'm not doing well, like every relationship in my life will suffer. Like my job will suffer. I will not be successful in anything. Like everything.
Yeah, and it's even with the US tour, it's like there's a part of me where I'm like, we shouldn't take that because I don't want to even get into territory where our relationship suffers. Like, you know what I mean? Because I just love you so much. And it's like canceled is stepping into the line of fire. And the girls we were when we signed that contract, we were enjoying the warmth of the fire. Like we loved it, you know?
There weren't many consequences and there was not as much to lose. And like, it was so fun. It is still so fun. It's so like, and we're gonna look back on it forever and be like, oh my god, how fun! We're gonna look back on it like college. You know what I mean? Like,
100
oh my god, that was so crazy. We were so fun. Yeah, it's hard to like not to say like nobody wants to see me, but like there's certain people that like aren't excited to see me when I come on the podcast. I don't want to be put in that position anymore. I don't want to be on this like.
Yeah.
I don't want you to have to watch me. I'd love to like just get more serious too. Like not that we can't get serious, but it just like is not the nature of our show, honestly. And like obviously no one's coming here to think like we're gonna be talking about anything like insightful.
Yeah,
and, like,
I
almost
agree.
feel like at some point we've like kind of committed to a bit that we might not have committed to so hard had we not like if we didn't have like a brand, you know.
100
like, business
fucking %.
You could do both, but I feel their level of substance is so pseudo intellectual. Just someone saying something they vaguely saw on, I don't know, like fucking Pinterest, and the other being like, oh my god, that is so right. I'm going to start doing videos on my main channel blending pop culture with philosophy, so it can be done. Maybe not by these two.
I mean, we will be here until we
aren't.
Yes, and like, god damn it, we love each other, and that's just like, I just can't stress that enough. It's just about growing.
You know what I'm excited for? I think it's gonna be cool for us to like just be friends.
Yes,
because it's like I compare Canceled a lot to like having a baby with someone, or like you know what I mean? Like when you stop putting any effort into your marriage because it's like, oh, now we have this child that we have to, like, care for, and we just like parallel play taking care of this child. Like
I couldn't fucking agree with you more. I always say that.
Notice she's always saying a lot of things, huh?
I can't wait to go get lunch with Brooke and get to be just like Tana and Brooke. And like our lives are so different and our opinions are so different. And we love that because that's like our friendship dynamic. We have so trying to get to agree, like such different opinions on everything. We've noticed how hard that is. You know what I mean? It's like, how nice will that be?
Brooke does consistently have the wrong opinion about so many things though. So maybe that's why you're not agreeing on certain things, because she's very consistently wrong. Whereas Tana is very consistently knows what to say to get the audience on side.
Yeah, I feel like it from the outside, it can look like, oh, like they sit down and have a podcast, but it is like this big business that there's so many like decisions in and like logistics and things that you can fight over that shouldn't be fought over. Like
the amount of people who make a yearly salary and eat off of Canceled, like we're not going to come on and like talk about that because it's boring, but it's like fucking true.
Yeah,
you know
it's a
hopefully Canceled wouldn't be their only gig. Like chill out.
Are ready to tour. You leave everything behind, and then you have to become 100% what that is. And then it's like, oh my god, that literally, I was like, when I came home and I started like living my own life again, I was like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking,
is that the great insight that we are to look forward to from deeper videos? It was like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm bored. They are literally just complaining about having a job, so I'm bored of that. And then, trigger warning, Tanamongeau was on Impulsive to talk a little bit about the podcast ending.
I did it. We got him back he's back.
oh, Jeff?
We did a show
I know.
a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Because people ask from time to time. We've got this guy.
Now I'm going to complain. You guys don't appreciate how much I hate Mike Malick's voice and how painful this is for me. So I hope you're all welcome.
Canceled is not happening anymore.
I mean, I'm not saying that I like it would be done forever. You know what I mean? Like I do really enjoy it, but it's just interesting. Like the girls that we were when we started that show were like quite literally like sucking dick behind a dumpster. You know what I mean?
Now it's in really nice bedrooms.
Yeah. With really nice people.
Of course.
And but just the lore and just like my desire to comment on pop culture and be in the shrapnel every week and, you know what I mean, just show up every week contractually and fucking tear people apart in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? I've just become such a different person.
So why not question on that note? So why not okay, why not evolve the show, right? Like, for example, like for us, we've shed 47 layers of skin throughout the course of this 8-year extravaganza, but we evolved together and we evolved the show. So I'm not.
I think he knows there's something more to it because, do you know what? Fair enough, Mike. Valid point. But actually, I was saying the same thing, weren't I? Just in different words 10 minutes ago about how you can still do that. You can have your pop culture moments because I guess it's interesting. I'm seeing some parallels here, actually, especially with Tana being sober and maybe not wanting the drama anymore. Though I don't think that's maybe even like 70% of what the real reason is. But that's just my conjecture. I remember I was doing drama content and then I did stop it for a while on the main channel because I was like, no, maybe I'm putting out too much negativity in the world. Maybe it's not my place to speak on this stuff. And now I'm older and I've looped back round to who cares? Funny, innit? Well, we're talking about real people, real lives, yeah? Or real people are idiots. So what, should the rest of us just not talk about it sometimes? It's how we develop. Gossip is important for social bonds and developing trust in our tribes. Also, it's literally just fun. I reckon she'll swing round at some point because she won't be able to help herself anyway. But yes, if they wanted to, they could evolve and grow the show together, and I think there's other reasons why they're deciding to not.
We don't have to go super deep on it, but just curious as to why you guys don't just evolve the content.
I guess we could just evolve the content, but it still is like, there's only so much you can evolve, I think, our show. Like I would still have to be in LA every week and we would still have to show up. And just also like creatively, I think that her and I both have sometimes different visions. Like we always talk about the fact that as friends, amazing, but getting us to always agree on everything business-wise and stuff is difficult. And like, I love her to death, but I could just see a world where we both had our own things that were very different. And then we had the agency and the leisure to cross over when we want, because we still have that great chemistry. And you know what I mean? Like almost nurture our friendship first and just evolve in different ways that still allow us to continue to be friends. And just it's not a contractual obligation to show up on that couch every week and talk about Hailey Bieber's asshole.
Yeah.
There are plenty of podcasts that don't talk about that. Yeah, there are a lot that do talk about drama, but there are plenty of podcasts that don't talk about drama. So, like Jack Mate's Happy Hour, he started off with, I'm Alex. And it was like a YouTuber drama podcast, and then he evolved it, and it became way more successful after the fact. So
the fit of a business, friendship, relationship, or even just business partners, not even with the friendship, is akin to finding a romantic. But it is very,
and I love her so
very
much,
hard to make those puzzle pieces fit perfect. That is why I'm so grateful for this, because him and I are just like.
He doesn't half always talk about himself though, does he? Good God, Mike. Hurry up.
To an extent, laser vision.
Wake up, Mike.
In on the same perspective. Like it's so rare for us to have any kind of.
I feel like Logan's just disassociating this whole episode. Just not interested.
Creative disagreement, business disagreement, friendship disagreement. Like we've just gotten so, this is what I was talking about before, so efficient and productive in our partnership across all of the different verticals of partnership that like it's very difficult to find that. Near impossible.
What he's describing is essentially just being on the same wavelength.
I love that he surmised it in like 6 words compared to Mike's 6.
And I love Brooke so much. I think that there's other capacities that we would like thrive more at. And it just, even with the audience, I feel like we're just at this point where we're kind of like beating a dead horse a little. You know what I mean? Like I'm ready to be on a beach, like just talking my shit, like wherever I am, and be a little more portable and be a little more. And it's just, I have a lot of people.
Tana, have you ever heard of Zoom?
You know, a lot of people relying on me and her relying, like just, I'm ready for it to be a different capacity and to allow our friendship to thrive in a different way. And yeah.
That's noble.
Yeah.
Flip the page.
Yeah.
Start that next chapter.
100%.
And you'll find a lot there. 26 was a pretty defining age for me.
Yeah.
26 to 30 for you, I'm sure as well will be revelatory in many ways,
And
especially if you go to Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially going sober, because you really see through people when you go sober. Not to say that sober people are perfect angels. I can still be a massive arsehole, but...
What I speak about, even as I'm writing this book, I'm like, damn, do I want to go down more of like a psychology and mental health like route? And like, you know what I mean? Just...
Oh, God, not the pop psychology. She has the time, and she clearly has the capacity to learn and understand things. It'd be cool if she went back into some sort of academic education. And that doesn't mean, going to university and getting a degree. It means taking some courses and learning actually, rather than consuming pop psychology from TikTok. If you want to go down that route, like she's going to listen to this.
Speak about things that mean a little more to me and whatnot, and just freedom. You know what I mean? Even no matter what it was, I think it's just like being tied to the studio in LA every week and kind of a similar range of topics can feel a little.
You have a depth that I'm not sure maybe you've really like exercised super publicly yet. Even just the way you're speaking, like it's you.
Tana's very, very intelligent.
Yeah,
like extremely intelligent.
Yeah, I think
People
I think you could shock people maybe with. That's what I'm saying. Maybe eventually, to like do your thing these next 3-4 years. But I could see you diving deep on things with important people who need to be heard, or like have a voice that needs to be heard.
I agree.
I don't know.
God, that would be diabolical.
It's kind of what we want to do. We've
done a good share of it, but we want to do more.
Yeah, I'll sprinkle it in now again, but that's how I feel. And I think it goes hand in hand with this book as well. Like, I don't want to be releasing this piece all about like the hardest things I've ever gone through and how I overcame them and the psychology behind it and all of the things that I learned across it, while I'm like simultaneously online being like, I bled all over my Uber driver's seat this week. Like, it's just like, and
But it is a
You can literally have both though. But I think maybe that takes a bit of time to realize, because I didn't know why does it. This is my channel actually. If I want to talk about myself, I can. I didn't realize like you could kind of have it all. I mean, look at Slavoj Žižek, my favorite philosopher. He will go on about, I can't pronounce names right. I can't pronounce words very well. Full stop. He'll go on about Hegel and Lacan, and then he'll talk about, Freudian psychoanalysts of the film They Live. You can do it all if you want. You can have both. Why not? It's called the dichotomy of the law, Tana.
It's a gentle balancing act, because and it's a tough one. And a lot of the really smart people pick a lane. They pick a lane, and it's been a detriment to me. And I'll be so interested to see how you navigate.
Did he just call himself smart?
But it's like, dude, I'll go sit with a bunch of addicts and talk about the Fit Vital, and it saved my life, and it made me understand these things, and it got me clean. Then I'm like, okay, hang on, I have to go because I have to sell a ton of cheeseburgers today. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'll go sell a ton of cheeseburgers. Then we'll come interview Trump. Then the next day we'll interview Bonnie Blue. You know what I'm saying? And then it'd be interesting to see how you navigate the combination of podcasting, book writing, showing off your clam.
That book isn't coming out this decade. I will bet $50 on it.
Question for you. Crazy one. Spin-off. We still do all our other shit. It's called Sidekicks. Me, Brooke.
It would be shit. Don't bother.
You guys would kill it.
No, they wouldn't. They're sidekicks for a reason. Oh, yeah, I'm tired. I'm hot. Oh, my God, my job is so hard. I've put on a microphone and I have to talk for like an hour. Those two. Brooke, the final boss of the Dunning-Kruger effect. And Mike, I swallowed an entire vat of cigarettes Malak. Absolutely not. Diabolical.
From the day I ever was like, hey, sit down on this couch. You know what I mean? She's so fucking funny. So talented.
Dude,
I'm not being a bitch, but talented at what? Like, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but okay, whatever.
Like, I think that Brooke also is in a place, I don't want to speak for her, but where she is, people really pick her apart for everything.
I've seen
and her
that.
having to show up every week and, talk about her own life and give people more and more.
Yeah, I wonder why people pick her apart. I wonder why. For those who don't know, she had a racist tweet scandal last year that instead of taking the advice of people, she tried to just like continuously post her way through. And if you're going for a scandal, it's probably best to just like say your bit, be like, I'm sorry, I've changed as a person. People talk for her though. I've like her fan base, I've never quite seen anything like it. The amount that her fan base, her which is crazy, her fans baby her. She's changed. Can we just see some? Even Tana was like, oh yes, I saw that she was reading these massive books about race, and it's like, have we heard about it? So like, I think the way to go forward if you deal with a scandal of any sort is say your piece, leave it for a little bit, have some time off the internet, because these things are cyclical. People will just find the next thing because people are online, and it's humans that are online, and humans will always mess up in some capacity. And then maybe you come back. But she was just continuously trying to like post her way through it, like cookie reviews or something like that. And then post cancellation, she would try to tone police anything that Tana said that could have been, I don't know, slightly interesting on the podcast, which affected it and affected the audience's enjoyment of it, because it was annoying. It was like constantly walking on eggshells, and she always tried to be contrarian anyway. She's someone that tries to be contrarian because my conjecture is I think she thinks she's smarter than tanamongeau, which she's not. She would always try and take the opposite viewpoint to Tana in a way that was just like really annoying and just a lot of the time wrong. And then she tried to become as PR and like brand safe friendly as possible, despite doing a podcast with tanamongeau. To the point that even Tana was like, didn't I do a video on this? She was complaining about David Dobrik, and Brooke, who is friends allegedly with Jeff Wittek, tried to devil's, be the, what's it called? Devil's advocate. It's hot. Leave me alone, guys. She tries to be a devil's advocate and tried to, be like, I can't really have an opinion on David Dobrik almost killing Jeff Wittek and blinding him possibly for the rest of his life and causing him to go through many surgeries and not footing a bill for any of them. I can't possibly have an opinion about that. Just boring. Just like, you're not suitable for this job then if you're going to really roll over. But simultaneously, she would also, her real personality would come out, where she was clearly just like pissed off that she got cancelled in the first place. It was especially obvious, I think, on maybe it was the Jeffree Star episode, where she was being very eye-rolly about it, like, I can't believe people don't forgive me for saying racist, homophobic things. And the best part out of all of those tweets, I think, was the one that was like, I've noticed that I've started getting higher grades ever since I began pretending to be liberal on my college papers. So when you have a tweet like that, people aren't going to think that you've naturally gone from right to left. They're just not when you have a tweet like that. And then, I mean, the fact that she is engaged to someone who there is photographic evidence of them having an inappropriate relationship with a minor. They're letting Brooke take the fall for it. And he also had a website with some of his friends, guys all in their late 20s, I might add, where they were rating models and saying things like, writing on this website being like, this girl's 17, can't wait till she turns 18. Like, you're allowing that man to ruin what was left of your career. Pick me, final boss, couldn't be me. But you just know that if something did happen between those two, she would be straight online being like, who the fuck did I marry? Oh my God, I can't believe it. She would be the first to air him out as well. So yeah, people do pick her apart, and they do go a bit too far, granted, but it's not for some sort of arbitrary reason why people pick her apart.
Wanting to kind of create a little more privacy and stray away from making her all of the depths of her own life the front lines. You know what I mean? Whereas I'm kind of locked into that forever, That one like scandal with her was so, oh my God. I remember I called you when it happened. And I was like, fuck this. I'm going on the defensive for Brooke. And you were like, hey man, this one. No, you said like, this is a big one, dude. Yeah, I think you wanted to make some funny
jokes.
Beginning, and it ended up being very serious.
What could this possibly be about? The nonce adjacent fiance, the racist tweets, or the eyelid surgery? I have no idea.
You know, I always just try to tell her, though. I think she's finally coming around to like, sometimes those moments are the best thing that can ever happen to you. And when it comes to growth and all of those things, I'm so grateful.
If you survive them.
Yes.
You know who's a great example of that right now is Jimmy, Mr. Beast. I know him well. He's a friend. And it was a hard time. Yeah. friend first. And now we're in business. And guess what? It's great.
Yeah.
But it was a hard time in his life. And now the kid is operating on a fucking level that is unbeknownst to mankind. He is crushing it so hard.
We literally had a video where someone died during the film, which that can happen sometimes, but someone died during the film of it. And I didn't even have like my YouTuber brain on for when I just put the video on randomly. I think my boyfriend was like, oh, you know, like check out this video they just put up of this man like trying to lose weight and he's living at like this gym essentially. So I didn't even have my YouTuber brain on. I didn't even have like my analytical, I'm going to nitpick brain on. But this guy's personal trainer died during the video. And that, unfortunately, that's part of life. People die. But them showing the guy, because like this personal trainer became like his really close friend because they were working out every single day. And the guy was, you know, barely seeing his own family because he's living in a gym. He was like howling with grief. And they put that in the video with sad, I want to say piano music in the background. And I watched that and I was like, that doesn't sit right with me. I don't like that. So whatever. Anyway, they're just going to bum lick everyone now. So let's move on. And then they put this up yesterday. So the previous podcast they put out 3 weeks ago. And since then, Brooke got engaged. And here's the thing. She got engaged. She was very smug about it. She also, like, again, with information that she has provided the internet herself, she seemingly lied about the length of time she's been with her boyfriend because she said she is someone who self-admittedly went onto Just Trish and said, yeah, I lie for fun. So people were being like, you've not even been together a year. That's a bit quick to get engaged. And she was like, we've been living with each other for a year. But then she put up something about how he got a tattoo of the number of the day that they met. And it was like in August. So you've not been living together for a year, have you? She was just saying that so it didn't seem so rushed and so quick. Because the cynical person in me could say, you know how much content there is to get out of an engagement and then a wedding and then a baby? You know, especially if you're worried about maybe a consistent paycheck coming to an end. The cynical part of me, Diogenes the cynic would literally just piss myself right now and throw my microphone out the window. But the cynical part of me certainly would say that. I'm not saying that's the truth, but yeah, anyway. And then she got backlash when it got spread even more that this guy has allegedly had inappropriate relations with a minor. And I mean, if a bloke is nearly 30 and he's dating teenagers, I can't see how that behavior is going to change when they're nearly 40. And then it was the way that she was going onto TikTok. She's getting into arguments with people. She got into an argument with someone who had like a baby fringe. And then that person like has made 20 plus videos about it. So they're kind of annoying as well, to be honest. Like her defenders, her fans have been like, this is meant to be an important, like, fun time for her and everyone's ruining it. And again, it's like, how fun is your engagement time if you're spending your time on the, if I got, God forbid, if I got engaged, I don't want to. If I got bonked over the head and then I got engaged, I don't think I would be spending my time on my phone fighting for my lives in comment sections of random TikToks that have like 20 likes to defend myself and my character and my boyfriend or whatever. I wouldn't be doing that. My phone would be down and I would be enjoying my time. So since then, that has happened. They aren't happy with each other. They're unhappy with the audience criticizing their every move, making it insufferable to film. They're the ones who ultimately put up because there are podcasts when it is tense between those two, or when the third girl, Paige, is on and you can and Brooke is being very mean, and then people are always like, oh, but it's like a sisterly meanness. Well, maybe that's not a good dynamic to have on a podcast then. Maybe it should be a bit more professional. They ultimately choose to upload those podcasts where they're clearly, there's been a few where Brooke has just like walked off at the end of the podcast, who I even said that, not doing the sign off, not saying goodbye, just walking off. What are people meant to... People act as though the audience is pulling out their arse when they're like, oh, I notice it's tense. What are people meant to think about that type of behavior? Brooke, put TF phone down. We love you, but please don't engage in negativity. You're perfect, actually. None of us perfect. God, I'm miserable. You have so many people that love and support you. The more you engage, the more people will do it for clicks. It's true. Like, I clearly don't like her. I hate men, famous men who do wrong, but the disdain I have for her is pretty biblical, because how can you get handed a career and then just fuck it up so diabolically? It is infuriating to see, not in a jealousy aspect, but in I've been a YouTuber for X amount of years, and to see someone just get handed a career and so much money so easily, and then them maybe not work on their own stuff, or not be consistent, or all these, or just be entitled and mean, and then them screw it up catastrophically and not listen to... There's no point making comments like this the more you engage, like, because she's not going to listen, because I guess she's just arrogant and thinks that she knows better. There is something infuriating on my end as a YouTuber, like watching someone like fuck up their career so much and consistently. And like, come on, how are you going to bat for someone that is being accused of being a predator? I mean, I wish they could rebrand into doing fun things in here, reading Reddit stories, playing fun games. They could. I will never forgive the internet. The entire internet doesn't care about them for pinning these two against each other for no reason at all. Are like, we watching the same videos sometimes, guys? If they tried to do this, more people would probably just see that Brooke is miserable and not capable of being nicer and more fun.
Hello and welcome back to the Cancelled Podcast.
More pep in your step.
Hello, guys.
What's your drama?
I don't know, man. I'm just sad.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think you have to be sorry. I just I'm so sad. But it's okay.
The cynic in me, who has watched Tana's videos for years, who has seen like the MTV show, who has seen every time that like she tries to fake cry or puts like fake emotion in her voice, can't deal with the next 10 minutes. So if that's too much for some of you and you think I'm just being a bitch, then do you know what? Fair enough. Maybe I am just being a bit of a bitch. And I'm okay with people perceiving me that way, because I'm not Brooke and I'm not trying to control other people's perception of me. I personally can't deal with crying that much. Maybe it's sociopathic. It annoys me a little bit. Not all the time. Probably 8 times out of 10. People crying annoys me a little bit. But especially if I think it's a little bit put on. Because tanamongeau is very good at consistently manipulating her audience. Because like every product that she's put out has been a bit of a scam. And yet still, she's got such an engaged audience. Because any scandal, she's been amazing at like flipping the narrative and gaslighting her way out of it. So, forgive me if I don't suddenly believe the tears.
Put it out there because it's a God honest truth. You know, my first bone to pick, my first thing that sucks is I honestly really thought that when we filmed that episode, and like, forgive me, I'm like literally panic central over here, but when we filmed that episode where we were talking about how it's coming to a close in the fall, I genuinely, and this is just some finger off the pulse shit, thought it would make things better. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Obviously, it just didn't. And like the internet is so much right now. And like thinking about coming to do this podcast. And like I was just like so overwhelmingly sad. It just sucks. Like so much, I think. Because everyone wants to make it this whole thing that it like fucking isn't, one.
Yeah.
And like two, it is a very sad feeling that like something that once made you so happy does the complete opposite of it.
Again, they are completely being passive here and acting as though the internet has just randomly... The internet does sometimes randomly decide to have a go at people. Sure. There's no nuance in public discourse, let's be real. But they're really acting as though, no, this is completely random. And it's not because someone is choosing to double down with marrying someone who there is like evidence of some kind of foul play. And no one's bothered addressing it. They're not going to address it in this episode. Her own man Brookes that is letting her take the rap and take the fall for this. I mean, what do you expect? The internet doesn't like predators. So
once again, it's so shitty that people like just make it something that it's like so not coming to do this. And I'm sorry for making this episode this today, but it's like I'm sorry. No, I keep it pushing. And I came to the conclusion that like I don't want to see this contract through. And then I go online and I see all these edits of us like once just like so
dude, the one that the one.
Yeah, because it's like it was that, and that is the truth, and like even today, like Trisha was looking at me and being like, you guys had this podcast for 4 years is a long time. And even like we posted talking about this and I saw this clip, like it just was clipped of us saying like, this is hard. And then all the comments are like, what, sitting down and filming for 1 hour is hard? And it's like, oh my God, get me a gun.
But they were kind of saying that. We just went over the episode.
It was an exact representation of exactly what we were explaining in the video, which is never that this is hard. This is the most,
easy and privileged, like
easy job in the world, sitting down for an hour.
It's nice to hear them say it, isn't it?
Or that part of it is easy. Talking to each other, that part of it's easy. Like, I love that aspect of the job. It is mentally just so exhausting and taxing, and like it's impossible to understand if you haven't experienced it, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I would look at it as an outsider and be like, get it the fuck together,
I'm literally a YouTuber and I am thinking, get it the fuck together. I'm thinking, shit, or get off the pot. Just cancel it. Just make this your last episode. It doesn't need to be like a huge, I don't know, man.
I've really thought about all options and like, I don't know. I just think to be living such a happy, peaceful life, I hate where this has gotten. There's just so much negativity and so much drama.
But you've contributed to that, though. You can't turn around and be like, oh, we've done nothing. We just keep having drama brought to our doorstep and negativity brought to our doorstep when historically it has been a drama-filled negative podcast. Like, this is just the consequences of those actions, surely. Like, you can't really make a career coming for other people and then not expect pushback. Like, I do commentary videos sometimes. I don't tend to get pushed back. I'm always surprised. I'm as surprised as anyone that like Anision has never given me shit over the years. Obviously, he's just in love with me. Yeah, I'm surprised too, but I expect it. I always expect it back. And I'm pleasantly surprised when, I don't miss the mark or whatever. So that's just the nature of it. And then if another creator gives you shit back, their audience is going to give you shit back. That's the nature of drama.
Not who I want to be, and it's not what I want for either one of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want the both of us to be happy. Like, so, and like, I don't know. And I really do. I really think that I was like, I'm going to see this contract through.
But it's just hard because it extends to what, November, December.
Yeah, and it's like, I cried so hard that I threw up. Like, I literally sobbed my eyes out until I threw up, like thinking about like doing this, which I once...
Whenever she says stuff like that, or like whenever she says I was scream sobbing, other people have said on the podcast, there were no tears coming out of your eyes. Like when she was like, I was scream sobbing, they were like, were you? It's such hyperbole. Like, and you know how I feel about hyperbole. I don't really buy it.
And like, I just like if something is making you feel that way, like it's no longer serving you, and that's okay. It just is letting go of like something that was such a big part of our lives.
And I'm saying it's fine for them to end the podcast, by the way. I think they should, because I think it's clear in some episodes there is a lot of tension and you have to be burying your head in the sand to not, it's just objective reality. But don't pretend that people are just constantly criticizing you for no good reason. They're criticizing the audience that watches them.
And it is still that. That's just like, I feel like this is true with everything. Like we are, you know, like in our late 20s, well, like I'll be 30, you know, in like a little over a year. Like you're not meant to do anything for that long. You know what I mean? Like everything like has a shelf life, and everything you outgrow and you move on from. And like, that's how, you know, like you transition through life. And it's not normal really for anybody to stay in a job for, I mean, of course, like people do, but the natural progression is to move on and do more things and get better and try new things. Like
100,000%.
Yeah, so for those millions of people that literally can't afford to move on and, you know, try new things.
It is. That's what it is I there's a part of me that like, an old part of me that hates saying this is a positive, and I hate that I'm saying this is a positive, and then people are going to be so mean and just pick it apart. And like even just seeing all the like Sophia with an F and Alex comparisons, seeing like Brianna chicken fry sit down and
Sophia with an F and Alex comparisons is like, sorry Tana, that's fucking crazy even for you. The comparisons of that, I mean, call her daddy is worth 100 million now. If we want to get into that, Alex Cooper certainly did do that. I mean, I think they're both incredibly annoying, but Alex Cooper really did do Sophia dirty, if you want to get into that at some point. Like Sophia's main issue being our salaries aren't reflecting what the podcast is worth, and then them sneaking her out of the deal and then going on to sign a $60 million contract with Spotify, therefore solidifying what Sophia was saying, that our salary isn't, we're not getting compensated for what the podcast is worth, you know, to advertisers. I mean, if I was Alex Cooper, would I be able to? If I was Alex Cooper, I think I'd send her like, you know, 2 or 3 million just as a no hard feelings, pal.
definitively say they do hate each other.
Yeah, and what the oh my god.
Just and it's like, but I also even hate that these words are coming out of my mouth right now. Because then that's going to get clipped, and then that's going to be enough. Like I
already
so
that on the side.
Done with like that, with all of that. I'm so drama free, and that's what I want to be. You know what I mean? And
do you know the slightly ironic thing? They love talking about Love Island and dissecting it and talking about like people's motivations, their behaviors and whatnot in a similar way that the audiences do with this podcast. So it's like, how come one is okay when they're both in the entertainment sphere and the other isn't? Because I'm sure the Love Island people don't really like it either, or feel a bit misinterpreted. I'm not saying something either way. I'm just sowing seeds.
Just think like there's no world where like anything just gets better like that. Like it's gonna take like time and stepping away. And
I also think that it's obviously, I've always said you and I have undeniable chemistry, and I'm so excited to showcase that in different ways. But I just like, yeah, this commitment and this.
I wonder if after this they'll ever do content together again, like even just a video, you know?
All of those things. And you're right. Like, I think even going on tour, like we're going to meet so many girls who are going, it's going to be so hard to like look them in the face and be like, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you know, you're not dying. I'm not dying, you know,
at all.
Like, you're not dying, mate. You're just ending a podcast. I'm not like justice relative here, but come on a little bit. Like, that was very almost acted like, I don't know, she was like Oprah or someone. I'm going to have to look again in the face and be like, the podcast is no, but I mean, oh my God, whatever.
I hope.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like I tussle with it daily, but
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
considering, so here's the thing as well to note. Like, tanamongeau has always gotten hate throughout her career. tanamongeau and Trisha Paytas doing a podcast got hate. So why is this suddenly different? I don't think it's just because of the hatred and negativity or whatever. I think there's something else going on. I think she can't be bothered to have a brand with Brooke anymore, especially as Brooke is seemingly dying on the hill of, you know, with the aforementioned fiance stuff, right? Because Tana she's no, I'm not saying you wouldn't get fed up, because of course you would get fed up of after a while, but it's strange that this is the straw that broke the camel's back, is all I'm saying.
Even just the other day when I finally decided, I was like, this has to happen for mental health, because it's so important, and like it is just so clear to me what this is like now doing to my mental health, and like your mental health, and just all of it. Like, just
It's devastating, but also exciting. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to look at it again as a positive, which I know for a lot of people it's not a positive. And like, it's not a positive for me either. It's not a positive for you, but like, so much comes of letting go.
Also, I do find it interesting. Totally forgot what I was talking about 2 seconds ago. Well, I've remembered now. I do find it interesting that Tana is the one sitting here, you know, crying, or is it too mean to say trying to cry? Trying to squeeze them out. Is that too mean? Is that too far? Whatever. Tana's the one sitting here crying when it's like Brooke is the one who's been going through it for the past 2 weeks, well, since her engagement. I find that interesting. That's all.
Of things, like especially like before you necessarily feel like you're 100.
Like Tana's just been on yet another nice holiday to Hawaii, whereas Brooke has been fighting for her life in like username 2453's comment section on their TikTok that got 5 likes about her eyelids. You know what I mean?
% ready. I know you feel 100% ready. I feel a little bit more apprehensive, obviously.
But I no longer feel at home in this in the way that I did for so long. I just have no choice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, I have no choice.
I've just noticed I keep saying, you know what I mean? Like her. Oh dear. Oh my God, guys. It's so hot. It is so hot. Don't know what to do with myself. Should we just get through the rest of this? And I was going to say yesterday, but I totally forgot. I was going to say, right, so here's what you do. If you're a content creator and you want to check your comments because you don't want to be detached from your audience, which fair enough, you know, I reply back to mine sometimes. Here's what you do. Leave it a little bit when you put up a new video or whatever, and then go through the top comments. Because if you're unsure that you've said something maybe controversial, or you're unsure you're going to get backlash for something, you know, because I always expect it because of the stuff that I talk about and how harsh I am to people. I always expect it, right? Leave it a day and read through some of the top comments, maybe the first 10, 15. And if no one's mentioned that you've been a massive asshole, you're all good. You can still like get the gist of what's going on without like trawling through hundreds of comments, having a go at you or whatever. That's my advice to Brooke if she ever watches this video, which she won't.
To be happy.
I think that's more important than anything. And I think all the people who love you and love Canceled are, I mean,
and I want nothing more than to see you in something that helps your mental health, not hurts it.
Me too.
Like that, it just like,
it goes without saying that this has been like, I mean, this has been really hard for me for a year.
Wow, wonder what happened a year ago. Do you know what I mean? That proves my point of I think she's literally just pissed off that she got cancelled. If I was to go full conspiracy theory, full parasocial, I'd maybe think maybe there's a part of her that resents Tana because Tana can just roll with getting cancelled on like a biannual basis. Doesn't affect her. Water off a duck's back at this point. She bounces back. She doesn't really care. She's never going away, which is kind of what you need to have staying power, just this will to keep on going and ignore the criticism, right? Deserved or otherwise. I don't think Brooke's got that type of personality. So I'm not the only person that said this either, like the only content creator. It's one thing for fans of shows or viewers to say these things, but if other content creators are also saying, yeah, maybe kind of not built for this, because as I was saying yesterday, it's not going to change overnight.
Yeah, and I think like, again, it was easy and we were trying and fighting for it, but like it is okay to accept it. And like to all of you, like, I don't know, I want to speak on you, I guess, and forgive me, but like she is a person that you can make comments on and say all these things, but to me, she's someone that I know and someone that I sat down like doing this for so long with, and someone that I want to see like flourish and thrive and get out of this rat race.
But can you also not admit that she eggs it on by being in every single comment section, unable to take like any slight criticism, deserved or otherwise, against herself? Like you're of course you're going to burn out and not be able to do this career if you don't accept the fact that not everyone is going to like you. You could be the most PR friendly, literally can't think of anyone that's like 100% PR friendly. You could be the nicest, most cookie cutter person, and there are going to be people who don't like you. There are some content creators, and I won't say names because it's unfair. And I know that, so I won't say names, who are like nice, good people, and I really like them. Because maybe their voice annoys me. But I'm highly irritable, so I'm not exactly representative of the average person, I think. I'm extremely irritable. But that's my point. So... And Brooke is also someone who will rage bait and who will say or do things that are inflammatory, not controversially cancel-y. In fact, on the pod, I've done it. I literally forget because I talk so much on these channels. I literally forget. I've done a video on how... Have I done a video on this? Oh, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Regardless, Brooke has weaponized the cancelled audience against smaller content creators before. But now, because she's getting it back, because she's deciding to marry someone who allegedly is an aunt, what, now she's going to play victim? When she has weaponized their audience a few times on the podcast against smaller content creators. Like, whatever. Another point, tanamongeau does a podcast with Trisha Paytas. So if tanamongeau doesn't want to be doing podcasts anymore and just wants to be on a beach chilling, which don't we all... Is she going to stop the podcast with Trisha? If she's so fed up of doing podcasts, or is this more of just a specifically Brooke problem? Cast your votes in the comment section below because I know which side my vote goes on.
I also just, I want that for us. I want to get fucking coffee and laugh and like almost get back to so many ways that we were. And
me too. I feel like it's, to me, I said this on another podcast today, but it's just like, thank you. Like no amount of, money or whatever like there is to gain from like doing this is worth like what I feel like we've lost, you know what I mean? Like as a, no, I don't want to say like a consequence or like as a result of canceled, but like you're just like way more important to me than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is like 100% the right thing to do for the next phases of our life that is going to be so big and beautiful. And we hope that you join us for. And I'm so grateful to both of our fans.
I thought she meant both of our fans as in like two people. Let's be real, I'm probably one of them at this point.
That love us and support us and just want to see us happy. Like how special and how beautiful. I had this major, massive realization that it is the most beautiful thing in the world that we wake up every single day and we are able to choose whatever we want to do with our lives. Like I literally got down on my knees and I thanked God that there are these people out here who love me and see me and know me for who I am, and I'm able to do what I want with my life. And I'm so excited for like everything that the future holds for the both of us. And I mean that with everything in me. Like it all just hit me. I literally was like scream sobbing and like
Was she actually?
Want to be able to put this to bed so that I can look at it with nothing but the gratitude and love I have for Canceled, because Canceled absolutely without a doubt changed my life. And like I thank you for holding me accountable so many times and just like
I'm not even being facetious, did it? Because if you're talking about going on tour, she's been doing tours for like a decade. If you're talking about consistently uploading, well, that's a lie because that's not really happened. Merch drops, she's done merch drops. Telling wild stories, that was her whole YouTube channel shtick. What else? What else could there possibly be? How did it change her life? It's basically the Tana show because everyone's going to stick around for Tana anyway. Do you know what I saw on Reddit that was crazy when the first video announcing their I'm struggling so much. Them cancelling their own cancelled podcast. I saw someone on Reddit sincerely say, "Oh, I can't believe Tana is doing this to Brooke. How dare she? Tana, like you could tell Brooke doesn't want the podcast to end." Well, now look. Tana could at least give the channel to Brooke. I was like, do you fucking people hear yourselves? It's actually sickening. So I did some little stats because it, like, seeing that comment annoyed me so much. What do you mean that someone should just get handed a channel with 2.5 million subscribers? It wasn't as if the channel started at 0 and got built up to 2.5 mil because it was a joint effort between Tana and Brooke. Tana, it was her vlogging channel, and it was at just under 2 million subs before the thingamabobby, before the podcast started. And I worked it out that basically in 4 years, it went from pre-podcast, the subscriber count went up by 23%. And it's like, in what universe do you mean someone should just be given that channel? That was her vlogging channel for like, what, a decade? But no, Brooke should be given that channel and all of the AdSense and all of the, what are you talking about? Delusional. I don't know what I have more disdain for, Brooke or genuine Brooke Schofield fans. Not a brain cell among them. Like, how entitled on behalf of someone else can you possibly be? What on earth? I can't get over it. I'm so annoyed. Sorry. My usual tolerance, which I famously have a lot of tolerance for people, is in the minuses right now because it's like 30 plus degrees. And I don't have air conditioning. I'm actually going to cry more tears than Tana has in this podcast.
You know, like it's the saddest thing in the world to like. And now I'm hoping that knowing that this is like this beautiful last hurrah, that like we are able to go into it with such joy. And that's nothing to do with the fans. I just mean like everything. I'm hoping that we get to like just put our all out there and know that this is the last time that like we are being chaotic. Like, you know, I was going to say for pay, but like, I mean, like that we're, you know, but this is like the last time that we're being chaotic. And like, that's beautiful. And I want to take J-Rod and I want to try to like showcase how awesome that is and like have a good time. And I think that with knowing that we're going to come back and close this out beautifully, it makes it more beautiful.
I don't care if this is too harsh. I have seen actors coming to the end of their long-standing like 10 plus year TV shows be less emotional about end than, do you know what I mean?
It makes it very special. I wanted to tell you about a comment I saw, but I can't tell if I'm going to just hysterically sob if I say it. Let me see. It was cute. Maybe I shouldn't have opened the comments on this one. I don't know. It was something along the lines of like, this is what it always was. Like, this was what it was supposed to be, was to show like the progression of our lives. And then to like literally, like that was the point.
Oh, that actually is so beautiful. That's so beautiful. Because it's true. I don't know if I'll ever grow as much publicly as I like did.
There's too many clips of me looking like this. Like, way too many.
That's really, no, because that is so sweet, because that's exactly what Canceled was to like just show our growth and like be there for us. And thank you guys so much for like being the best friends at the end of the bed that we're having the debrief with every morning, and for like changing our lives. Like I can't even stress it enough. And I'm really, really happy that we like got to do everything we got to do. And I hate the way that this shit makes me feel now, but like I'm so excited for the future. You were right. It was gonna make me hysterically sob.
I know. I'm not even kidding. I'm like having to think about anything else. Like I'm not even listening to you.
That's exactly what this was, though. It was like this,
like that was
fucked
like
up
that was
scrapbook.
like that was the movie. You know what I mean? Like we do all of these crazy things and we talk about it and we are like best friends through it all, and then we go off. You know?
I'm too hot and bothered to deal with this. I can't.
And Brooke, I really like. I am excited to have other platforms, you and I, and to cross over.
I am too, and it's, I mean, God, we're not moving states, like we're not.
I know.
Buying, like, I'm like, really, what makes me sad is just like the people who do love it so much and depend on it and stuff, like, and like it helps them through things. Like I know I see those people, and like those people should be and they are so much more important to me than any of the negativity. I just like,
it's hard.
I can't handle it.
What? I can't. And cue the people that are like, yes, I depend on the cancelled podcast, but I mean, it's a podcast talking about sucking dick. Like, what can I say? Oh my God, I'm over this. They're just blowing smoke up each other's asses now. Right, they say this, but it's all lip service because they're not replying back to the nice comments. And on this video, there's thousands of nice comments. Are they replying back to them? No. But will they reply back? Well, will Brooke reply back to any negative comment made about her, like in the depths of a I don't know, random Daily Mail article? Yes.
I've always wanted to be like a journaler, like somebody who journals and writes things down and can look back on them and stuff. And I caught myself being like, oh, like I'm gonna forget like everything I did. And then I'm like, wait, every week I sit down and tell like literally every single thing down to my hemorrhoids. I have all of this to look back on like literally forever, and my kids do. And not that I would ever encourage my kids to watch this podcast, but
Did I even mention the thing about having kids with someone who is allegedly a predator? Like, what are you going to do when your kids are 15 and they bring back their school friends? Did I even mention that? Probably. Maybe it bears repeat. Maybe it's worth repeating again.
Way to twist the knife, because for so long this like was our medicine, not to be corny.
well, now why the hell?
Now
are you
it's
doing
our
that?
fucking formaldehyde. That's not even the right chemical. What kills you?
Formaldehyde is supposed to preserve things. Cyanide?
Yeah, now it's our fucking cyanide. And like
It's a podcast that they get paid tens of thousands for, so Tana can have epiphanies while she's in Hawaii on a beach. Like like, am I being unreasonable, or is anyone else like getting a bit fed up with this? I just feel, I don't know. I feel like this whole podcast is quite manipulative.
That was probably misinformation, and I will not stop until the very end.
That was. I'm a fair person. That was kind of funny. I didn't laugh, but I did smile inside to myself. Guys, it's 34 degrees. Leave me alone.
I sat down by the beach and I filmed a video talking about 27 things I learned at 27 the other day. And I was like, damn, like I want more of this, where I'm like on my own time alone with the camera and just get to like talk about some real shit and not have this like obligation, unfortunately. And I hate that people make it again just this like, they make it so many things it's not.
Was one of those 27 things using longer words correctly? I'm just kidding. I'm just being silly. I'm just goofing around. But again, curious to know if her podcast with Trisha is going to be affected by this change of heart then.
Because then you see the edit and you think of all the ways to fight for it and to keep it or to rebrand it or the things. But like, I cried until I threw up, and I had to look in the mirror after fucking projectile vomiting and be like, this, what the fuck? You know?
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, I'm like really gonna like you're gonna have to start invoicing me for the amount of times you've had to give me the same exact speech.
No, but it's the truth. Like, I mean, I wish I could go in your skin and say, phone down, phone off, stop responding.
I mean, if she won't even listen to Tana, who has been doing this for over a decade, like, she's not going to listen to anyone else's advice about literally logging off and safeguarding your mental health, is she?
I know. I've just discovered, like, I always like pride myself in like, oh, family of addicts, and it never hit me. And I'm like, no, actually, this is just like my drug. Like, my self-harm, my drug is like literally consuming opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Get help for it then. I don't mean that flippantly or facetiously. If I sound impatient, it's because like my head is sweating. I'm not a sweater, so it's so uncomfortable. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to go swimming in a bit and then I'll have epiphanies about cancelling my YouTube channels. I'm joking. Get help for it. I get, like, these people that are, like, Tana's probably earning more, but, like, Brooke, I'd be surprised if she's not earning tens of thousands per month across all socials, brand deals, YouTube, cancelled, all of it, the tour, merch, whatever. She is getting paid, like, it must be minimum of tens of thousands per month across the year. I would bet 50 quid on that. I don't know why I'm betting so much at the moment. My new addiction is gambling. I'm kidding. My new addiction is doing those Omaze house things and then pretending what I would do. If I got an Omaze house, I think I'd like rent it as an Airbnb for a year, because then I could go and have a holiday. It doesn't matter. So tens of thousands a month. Get help. Like, I don't know if that's the medication route. I don't know if that's the therapy route or something. But these things are so... Because I appreciate also that they're American and healthcare isn't free and it costs a lot of money. These things are so accessible to help you stop, like, finding out what triggers that in the first place, having to absorb negative opinions about yourself, to punish yourself. Why is that? Like getting to the root of that, and then not only just like being self-aware about it, but changing the behavior to not do it and thus not make it everyone else's problem. I'm actually going to stop here because I want to go swimming, and I feel like they're just repeating themselves now, and I feel this might be my low tolerance. Like these are not, yes, like these are the consequences of your actions, but they're omitting completely the actions part, like omitting completely why people give. And look, I've already said people do go too far with Brooke, because I've seen it on TikTok. People do go a bit too far with her, right? But pretending that neither of them have anything to do with the negativity and toxicness and like drama fiending that they have cultivated in their own audience, pretending that they've got nothing to do with that, and this is, they're passive in it, and this is just happening to them, and not acknowledging why people are actually mad with Brooke at the moment and her engagement. While because I think the issue with her is, to me anyway, she doesn't come across as a genuine person at all. And if you're going to be in this career, and if you're going to, and I don't even mean content creation, I mean like influencer. If you're going to be an influencer, like your audience needs to know that you're genuine. That's really important to an audience. And I just, get that feeling, maybe it's a gut thing, maybe it's subconscious, that she's not. And I think that's also slightly why people give her a hard time. So like, whatever. Good for them. Not going to begrudge them if they're, stopping it for their own mental health, because they've got to safeguard it. This is literally what I've been saying the whole time. But you could do that whilst not blaming your audience and not pretending you're not at least culpable for some of the behavior that is now like affecting you back. So that's all for today's video. I'm sweating. I'm dying. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I make new videos on this slop channel whenever I feel like it, apparently. And I'll see you all next time. Oh, let me know what you think in the comment section below, unless you disagree with me, in which case I'm going to do what Brooke can't, and I'm just going to log off and not... I can't help myself. Goodbye.